Everyone, and welcome to this episode of Into the Composer's Mind. Again, thank you to the Canada Council for their support on this particular project. As we continue to look into my mind, and as scary as that might be, and look at the composition process that's going on in the creation of this particular new piece of chamber music, which involves my family members and will be performed in a virtual way sometime soon in the future. So today's been a bit of a weird day. It's, how one of those days where kind of everything goes wrong and you kind of want to move from project to project. This is actually the second time I've recorded this video. First time I forgot to put the card in the camera. I was also doing some renovation work outside and cut some boards, a quarter inch too short, and the screws were going in and they were going in crooked, and one of the boards wasn't working properly. So long story short, it's one of those days where you just have to push on from one project to another. So here we go. I'm going to record this episode again. But that's okay. It gives me a chance to edit what I said the first time. This was originally supposed to have been done yesterday on Sunday. It's going to be called a Sunday video because on Sunday I am a church musician and still involved with church music ministry. I'm an organist and choir director and, of course, a composer of church music, and have been that for about over 50 years now. In the new COVID era, we're not having worships in church as yet. So over the past few months, we've been producing online worships on Sundays using Zoom and Facebook Live, which has made a few challenges for the music component. What I've been doing is recording the hymns, and it's been fun to do some interesting arrangement of the hymns. I'm not just stuck to organ and piano as it would be at church. I can do all sorts of interesting things using my various keyboards, etc. So that's been kind of fun arranging them, and then those are inserted into the service. I've also been working a little bit with video presentations of these hymns, a couple of hymns. And that gives you a visualization, or my visualization, of what the text is about in the hymn. And you'll find a couple of those visualizations of a couple of hymns also in the video section of this YouTube channel, if you're interested in taking a look at those. Of course, as a professional composer, you'll always have many different projects on the go at a time, or at least you can. So aside from this particular composition project, which is taking up most of my time right now, I'm still involved with the church music and writing. I try to write a new piece for church every Sunday, as well as the arranging and producing of those videos. And I still have a couple of commissions on the go as well for different works. So it's always interesting to balance your composition time. And sometimes the projects will interact with exchange of materials, with ideas, and sometimes the composition projects clash, and you have to be careful to separate them. That of course happens with all sorts of, not just in music composition, but in other work as well. I'm sure lots of you have encountered those kind of situations in your daily lives and your daily work. So today I was working on continuing working on the text, as I mentioned. I finalized the translation of the text from the Liber Usuralis from the July 7th service that was being used as the basis for our text, for our piece. And it was interesting that a couple of Bible passages came up that were actually part of the recent lectionary service that I had written some other music for. One of them is the passage, "Oh, how beautiful are the feet," and another one is one of the standard Vespers chants. I saw a mighty angel of God flying through the midst of heaven, crying out with a loud voice and saying, these holy men became the friends of God. And of course, there are some implications of that, as it's also used in other services, including requiems. So it's not serendipitous, it's just the way that things happen. Speaking of serendipity, again, as I picked up my Liber Ursualis, an old holy card fell out, and you may remember the old holy card days if you were involved in the Catholic Church. This one is in absolute pristine condition, and it was printed in 1940 from a printer who established in 1941 for an ordination that took place on the 26th of May in 1945. Father Laurent Bourgevin. So I have no idea who this fellow was, but it just happened to be in this book, and it's very. I will take a look and see if there's any serendipity associated with that. The other parts of the text include some poetry that my father, as I mentioned, my father enjoyed. One is some of the works of Robert Service, and in fact, one of our family members was reciting Robert Service as my father passed away. So I will be incorporating an audio portions of the audio presentation of some of the poetry that Dad enjoyed, as well as some of his own vocalizations. And that poetry will be narrated by a couple of other family members who aren't musicians, but who can certainly participate in the project through their narrations. These particular words and texts always help to provide a certain kind of contextualization for the feelings that are ongoing in the piece. So it'll be an interesting way to balance that. I've finalized most of the resources that we're going to be using from the different family members, what instrumentation, who's playing what, and so now I'm ready to create what I call a form chart, which will give a sense of the overall form of the piece. I've indicated a couple of ideas before, so now we can formalize what the form will be, and that gives us kind of a nice picture, an overarching picture of what the piece will look like and feel and sound like. So once again, thank you for listening to this broadcast, and I look forward to the next time when you're looking again into the composer's mind. And I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and feel free to share this video with any of your friends you think that might be interested. So goodbye for now.